It was
I hate the
boys.
term foster fail. It
No,
feels too harsh.
no,
I don't
boys
like
was
that
with
term
me and
either, to be
admin.
honest.
It's
That's what my
very,
boyfriend
like,
said when he heard it. He
like,
said he sounds like a negative
imposter,
thing.
like,
Well,
to
dude,
do. I feel like to just
it sounds like a
blindly throw
negative
names
thing
out there
because
like that.
fail is a negative word,
True.
and like
Or I was just singing.
it also
the
has
Boogie theme.
I kind of feel like foster fail, the term foster fail, and how people use it and throw it around. It like takes away what's important about the fostering process by being so flippant with the term. Like the foster process to me is something that's pretty, it's vital, right? It's super important, but it's, how do I say this? It's not like, in my mind, when I signed up to be a foster, it was like, I have a job to do that's a selfless job. It's not selfish. It's like putting the dog first. And when people are like, oh, foster fail, it's like, you're still adopting the dog and it's still a good thing, I guess. But like, it's making the term foster just feel kind of weightless. And the term foster and the act of fostering is so important. It's so important. So it shouldn't feel weightless. It shouldn't feel like, oh, foster fail. Because like fostering is like a serious, really important thing to do. It helps dogs without helping humans. And I'm not saying people who foster fail are doing anything wrong or they're bad or whatever. It's like, you know, sometimes things happen. That's life. But the way people use that term, and the term in and of itself, is something that I'm just not a huge fan of. So the goal is goodbye. The goal is goodbye, yeah.
Sammy is the bad
I feel
guy.
like I'd cry every time they leave.
Julien.
As long as you don't cry in front of the adopters, you're fine. Because I cry every time they leave. But it's not, that day is not about us. It's about the dog and the dog's new family. So we just don't cry in front of the new family. That's all. That's our only rule about that. But
I don't think so.
yeah, cry all you want, dude. I fucking have a big old cry when we adopt a dog. Also, Lonnie's gonna be the hardest to let go. I'm gonna cry the hardest for her. And that's not to say anything bad about the other dogs. We just had her for, it's gonna be 6.5 weeks, I think. Yeah, it's a long time. Also, another thing about fostering is like the longer I do this, which I intend to do it for a long time, but we're going on like 6-7 months now at this point of fostering. And a lot of people will say things like, they'll like meet the dog and they'll say, oh, you're gonna fail. And I know what they're saying. I know what they're trying to say. I know where they're coming from usually. But I don't like that. Like they're trying to say, oh, the dog's cute. And I personally wouldn't be able to separate my desire to have a cute dog from my purpose in following through with helping the dog be like, you know, happy and have a life, which that's fine. Like, then don't foster, but don't tell me I'm unable to do what I'm trying to do. It devalues the dog. It does devalue the dog. It's like another thing where I hear people, I don't know, I'm kind of just like venting. I don't know, in being involved with greyhounds and working with fostering them and all the involvement I've had over the last like year, I've learned a lot. And I also have like met a lot of people who are, some are similar and wonderful and some are different and like hard to deal with. And one of those things that's like hard to deal with is that behavior where people say things that make themselves feel better, right? Because if someone is unable to foster, right? If they're unable for whatever reason, like their life circumstance makes it so they can't foster, or they just can't figure it out how to do it.
I'm sorry, man.
They'll project onto other people and be like, oh, you're gonna fail, or like she's a cutie, or like, or they talk about dogs in a way, you know, there's like multiple dogs and they pick one out and they're like, oh, I would keep you. What about the other ones? Like, are they fucking ugly? Are they stupid? What? Like, what's the point in saying something like that? Because like every greyhound is gonna be worth saving. Every single one. Every single fucking one.
I don't want everybody to fucking die. Oh.
Oh, if I had my pick, I would take that one home. Okay, well, I guess the rest of the dogs can just go back to Mexico.
100% I can explain why I died.
You know?
He's coming to kill me.
So like, I don't know. It's like you try, and like that's something that I always try to remember, that like this is the extraneous noise about fostering. People's opinions, people who you didn't ask for their opinions, or people's weird like language about the dogs. Like that's extraneous. I don't care about it. I'm focused on the dogs. They make me happy. I want to find them homes. That's that. And I'll continue to do that. But it is something that you deal with. And now over the course of almost a year, you deal with a lot of it. And it's like something that, I don't know, it's not nothing. So if you're considering fostering and getting involved in organizations and stuff, it's like, it's not nothing. It is a factor. And a lot of the times I feel like I'm being talked to like that because I'm young and I'm viewed a certain way because I'm young and I have tattoos and I paint my nails and whatever. I look a certain way. Like there's no possible way that I could be fostering animals and look like this. I couldn't possibly have the emotional intelligence to help a dog that I don't get to keep personally and benefit off of because you in your 50s can't figure it out. There's people, there's, you know, the worst part of everything is people. I love fostering greyhounds, but there's people involved sometimes. But like I said, like, once you find, and dude, I feel so grateful to have found greyhounds and Grey Save and like just the ability to do what I'm doing. Because once you find something that means that much to you, the rest literally doesn't matter. It'll annoy you sometimes, and sometimes over a long period it bugs you and whatever. It's not fun, but in general, like I'm just grateful to have the opportunity to help these greyhounds. That's it. I do not give a shit about what Karen has to say, you know. I do not care. I'm just kind of letting you know because we're talking about it. Also, another thing, and this is sort of just like me telling you, so like maybe you can be aware of it, is when you meet someone who's fostering and the first thing you say to that person is, I could never foster. It's maybe not as productive as you might think or charming. It sort of has the same energy as like, hey, I'm celiac, I'm gluten intolerant. And people will be like, oh, I couldn't live like that. There's the same energy as that. Because like, who are you helping in that conversation? You're helping yourself. You're literally saying something to make yourself feel better because you're being faced with something that you're unfamiliar with. You're like, okay, I'm looking at this person right now who's doing something that I'm so unfamiliar with, so intimidated by, that I'm gonna say, oh, I'm off the hook. I can't do that. It's like, yeah, sure, okay. I get where you're coming from. I know what you're trying to say, but it doesn't really help to say that. And again, the reason I'm bringing it up is because I'm sure a lot of people say it and don't even realize how it comes off sometimes because they're not trying to be like that or whatever. Just figured I'd let you know. I could never. Okay, then don't. Yeah, okay. It's like the girl from TikTok. Okay. It's like that fucking episode in season 1 of The Office when Meredith is having her birthday and Michael Scott is so selfish that he doesn't care that she's lactose intolerant. He orders like a ice cream cake and he's like, have a bite. And she's like, I can't, I'm lactose intolerant. And he's like, oh, I would kill myself if I was lactose intolerant. And obviously season 1 is like, whew, through a 2022 lens, pretty problematic, obviously, but that's how it goes. That's how it feels sometimes. Like that's, yeah. It's dramatic, but that's, yeah. I know this is different, but my family fosters children and we get that all the time. I could never do that. I could never say goodbye and they truly don't understand the actual weight of what they're saying. You probably have it on a whole nother level with people fostering kids and young people. I mean, it's like, that's probably feels way worse. I don't think people mean bad. I think some people might, but most people don't. I think most people don't mean bad. Yeah, I really don't think it's malicious a lot of the time. I think just sometimes, like that's why I'm mentioning it, you know, in case maybe you said that. You're like, oh, I didn't mean that. Like now I know how it sounds or whatever. Like that's fine. We're all, listen, we're all here to like get a little bit better every day. And if we're doing something that maybe we could be doing better, we learn and then we do it better. It's literally that simple. Otherwise we're just going to be stuck in time and floating until we die. What the hell's the point of that? Me not eating meat, other people, oh my God, I could never give up bacon. Oh, shouldn't go down that path right now, but I hear you. I hear you. I feel like it's minor in comparison, but I got the I could never a lot as a chem major grad student, especially from doctors, and always felt like they thought I was this magical human, but no, I found something I liked and I worked really hard at it. Yeah, that's absolutely the same. Thanks for opening up. My pleasure. Thanks for listening to me yap. I got the whole chat riled up. Everyone's mad now about shit. Yo, fucking, I'm dealing with this too. I just realized.
Person you trust the most.
Sorry, chat. People be people. Sorry.